Good Monday evening. Thanks again for joining us. Again, here we're on Facebook Live. Brian Mays and Erica Lopez, our chief meteorologist, here in the studio to bring you just a quick update on how things are going. Erica's going to have your overnight and evening forecast coming up in just a minute, and we're going to check on that. But I'd like to get to some news of note as we begin this Facebook Live to just tell you a little about how things are working, not just here in Central Texas, but really across the state. This website monitors many electric providers throughout the state, and by color you can see the number of outages. Now, if you go up to the north part of the state, you see these counties in blue. That's Lubbock County, for instance. They monitor about 107,000 electric customers. Right now they're reporting 0 outages there. It's concerning. Then if you go down to the southeast portion of the state, say Brazoria County, just south of Harris County in Houston, they monitor about 313,000 electricity customers there. And this site reporting about 311,000 outages. So nearly every one of their customers that are monitored in Brazoria County near Houston out of power at this time. Now let's talk about local. Williamson County, they monitor this website. This production monitors about 247,000 Williamson County electricity customers. Right now they're reporting just over 103, nearly 104,000 outages in Williamson County. Bastrop County right around 10,000. Burnett County 13,000 at this hour. And then of course Travis County with mostly Austin Energy customers. Right now Austin Energy reporting about 211,000 outages right now. That's a slight uptick from when we talked to you last about an hour ago, but still more than 40%. More than 40% of Austin Energy customers without power. We hear from many of you here throughout the day today, and I know many of you have been without power for many hours, some going back to last night at this time. We are working to get as many answers as we can. Austin Energy not providing a whole lot of information, to be quite honest with you, at this time. ERCOT, the statewide grid, not providing much information either. They had about 3.5 million outages reported about 2 hours ago. That's now gone up to about 4.6 million outages statewide just over the last 2 hours. So clearly, whatever they're doing is not working at this time, and many more outages are being reported. All right, we'll keep an eye on this for you, and again, bring you whatever we learn from Austin Energy and from other providers throughout Central Texas as we take a live look at some of the traffic. Again, that's being discouraged once again. I know a lot of you have to be out for essential jobs and things that take you on the roads, but again, Austin Police, other area law enforcement entities trying to stress that this is not a good night to be out on the roads because those temperatures are going to keep dropping. Let me get a couple of more notes in, and then we're going to get to Erica for the forecast. Again, Austin Airport, no flights today, in or out. No flights tomorrow, in or out. If you've got a flight Wednesday, Thursday, check with your airline. This is all going to be kind of moment to moment as we move through these next 24 to 48 hours. Cap Metro, they are expecting to resume Metro bus service tomorrow at 10 a.m. Metro buses resume at 10 a.m. That's a good way to get if you need to get to a warming shelter tomorrow. If you think maybe your power won't be restored just yet, Metro bus will start at 10 a.m. tomorrow. No classes for UT Austin tomorrow until at least 8 a.m. Thursday morning. AISD no class until at least Friday morning. Again, we're going to update that as well. I did just on my Twitter page. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll see I tweeted out some warming center locations for Hays County. I'm working to find those for the other area counties. Travis, Williamson. We know the Palmer Events Center here in Travis County is one big one for the Austin area. Looking for Williamson County and other counties in the area. I'll give you that update on Twitter as soon as I find it. But for now, let's get with Erica Lopez, because the reason we're going through this now is the temperatures aren't going to improve at all over the next, 12, 14, 16 hours.
Yeah, we're talking about below freezing temperatures up until possibly Wednesday or so. Temperatures dropping to the 20s after we only warmed up to the mid-20s for a very brief moment. 16 degrees currently at the airport right now. We are under a hard freeze warning throughout the entire night. As a matter of fact, it's in effect until Tuesday at noon. Temperatures could be as cold as 0 degrees. This is such a scary situation for everyone who does not have power tonight. Hourly forecast tonight, we're gradually going to cool down and drop to single digits almost area wide. And on top of that, you factor in the winds. We are still under a wind chill warning. This is the second wind chill warning that has been issued ever on record for Central Texas. Last night was the first time we were under a wind chill warning. Another one had to be reissued for the possibility of gusts of up to 10 miles an hour. So it's not going to be as windy as yesterday, but those gusts could make it feel as cold as 10 below zero outside. Here's a look at an example of the feel-like temperatures. Austin feeling like 7 degrees below zero by about 4 a.m. Still pretty chilly as we progress through the rest of the morning. So we're clear snowfall-wise from Texas. This is the winter storm that continues to push eastward. We have heavy rain and a thunderstorm threat that was ongoing, along with a tornado threat. The tornado watch has since then expired. Lots of heavy snow moving through parts of the upper Midwest now. This is the same system that pushed through us last night and dropped 6.4 inches of snow, which officially has been the highest snowfall accumulation that we have seen since 1949. It's been 72 years since we've seen snow, this much snow in the Austin area, and it's officially our third largest snowfall ever on record as well. Okay, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but we all need to prepare for another winter storm. This is going to be the last one with this series of this Arctic air and a series of Pacific systems. This winter storm will begin to move in about 24 hours. A winter storm warning in effect from 6 p.m. tomorrow night through Thursday morning. This is going to be primarily an ice threat. The good news is that temperatures will be slightly warmer to allow, us to kind of thaw out, but then that brings us an ice threat rather than a snow threat. Freezing rain is going to be a big concern, especially Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. Then temperatures do cool down enough to have a winter mix. Can't rule out some flurries mixing in. That would be Wednesday night into Thursday morning, but we're still not out of the woods. So this is a system that pushed through last night that's moving to the northeast. Pacific system moving in late Tuesday night into Wednesday, dropping some more ice accumulation for us here in Central Texas. Another round will be initiated late Thursday morning, and that's going to clear out as we progress through the rest of Thursday, eventually drying us out, and we'll warm up back to seasonable conditions. A little closer look as to how that 24 to 48 hour period will play out once that winter system moves in. I want to show you that the biggest concern will actually be overnight Tuesday into Wednesday, as the freezing rain, sleet will become a little bit more widespread. This is another warmer layer aloft that will be pushing in from just south of us, clashing with a cold wind. So even though computer models are showing at the surface with temperatures in the 20s that we'll have a winter mix right now, I do think the majority of this will be freezing rain with that thin layer aloft above the surface that will have pretty warmer temperatures, so that liquid is falling in the form of rain and then freezing upon impact once it reaches the ground with temperatures in the 20s. Clearing out, here we are as we fast forward into Thursday, and then finally seeing a break from this crazy winter nightmare, it seems like. As a matter of fact, our 8 to 14 day temperature outlook, we're finally tracking above average temperatures, which it just sounds amazing at this point. We will, Brian said earlier, he'll take triple digit temperatures, and he promises he won't complain. But you know what? We'll be happy with 40s, with 50s and 60s. We may even be near 70 degrees by early next week.
Gosh, Erica, the 35 looks pretty good to me. We're getting a lot of people on Facebook. Again, thanks for joining us here, but we do have a few questions. Some people wondering, this snow that fell, we saw record amounts of snowfall last night into today. Not much more snow tonight, but again, that snow is not going to melt overnight. Clearly, it's going to even be worse, isn't it, Erica, as we head through the night tonight?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, so we had a nice fluffy snow. If someone had to get on the roads early this morning, they had the fluffy snow, the traction, but then as the day progressed, a few people that did have to go on the road, that snow kind of melted, right? So then it's just liquid that's freezing over as ice now. So it's going to be solid ice. We're not going to have that traction with any fluffy snow anymore. So I think tonight it's actually going to be a lot worse than last night. Last night folks were at home, hunkered down, they knew the snow was blowing, but tonight roads are going to be extra slippery, so you definitely still want to stay indoors.
And one more, the question is about forecasting and how I've seen you nail this from the beginning, but these people or this person wants to understand, Could anything happen over the next 24 to 48 hours that would change that and maybe make those temperatures a little higher? Or is this pretty much where we're at with this Arctic air?
You know what? Computer models have been so warm with this that I think what could change is that we may have even colder air anticipated, or that warm layer that I was talking about above that would give us the freezing rain. It'd be slightly colder, so we might have more of a sleet threat and more flurries versus the freezing rain, which actually would be the best case scenario for us. We all know how dangerous ice could be. So with how this whole system has been trending, it's been trending a lot colder, but now the coldest stretch of this Arctic air starting to recede, that polar vortex starting to lift back up north. So I'm hoping for the best. You know, those slight changes really do make a big difference, though.
Well, it's sad that so many people are without power at the worst possible time. But I know, Erica, you've got to get back to getting the 10 o'clock ready. Of course, we'll have a full newscast for you coming up in about 50 minutes from now. So thanks for being with us here, and we'll see you back on the news on KVUE at 10 o'clock tonight. Thanks for joining us.